All right, welcome into Lance's Lock, the podcast, getting you ready for week 9 of the college football season from a betting angle. Jim Dunaway along with Lance Taylor. We're in costume. Lance dressed for the Halloween weekend as one of his favorite artists of all time, Tupac.
Yeah, Tupac Shakur died way too early in 1996, September of 96. Hard to believe the guy's been dead 25 years now.
Yep, and you're paying tribute with him, including the Tupac starter kit tattoos. I've got Lane Kiffin, who, if Tennessee fans had better arms, would have planted a few golf balls more than the one that grazed him. And I got my mustard and everything ready to go. So it's a Halloween weekend. How tricky will it be on the football field? We'll talk about that after LT tells you how you can be part of Lance'sLock.com.
Yeah, jump on board. This fall's been a little rocky, been a little up and down. We're coming off a 7-4 Saturday. You know, it seems like Saturday is our most important day. We had the NFL completely dialed in the first month of the season. It's gotten away from us a little bit. But again, we'll pull this all together. We've been in business over 6 years now. We've never had a losing season, so we will win for you. The great news, too, there are other touts out there that charge thousands of dollars every season. We charge $90 a month, and you get absolutely everything. You're going to get the World Series. You get the NBA, which we've been giving out. We've been good in the NBA so far. College football, the NFL, sides, totals, everything, $90, $3 a day. Very simple. A great holiday gift as well.
All right, let's get into the games. Separated by only lot number 76 in the parking lot will be the Fox Big Noon Kickoff pregame show and College Game Day. Both are in East Lansing for Michigan and Michigan State. These are two teams that love to run the football downhill, and now they meet each other, both unbeaten in the top 10.
Yeah, you know, these are always interesting, fun games between these two. They absolutely hate each other, and I don't think anybody going into the season thought come Halloween both would be undefeated and in the top 10. But that's where Mel Tucker and Jim Harbaugh have these programs, and this doesn't happen a lot. Fifth time in series history that both have been ranked in the top 10. First time since 1964. Wow. But Harbaugh hasn't been good in these spots. On the road under Harbaugh, Michigan is 0-5 against top 10 teams. Obviously, Michigan State is a top 10 team. But on the other side, Michigan State has failed to cover 7 consecutive games against top 10s. What gives? I think a lot of people look at this and they're like, they seem like equivalent teams. Why would Michigan on the road be a 4-point favorite? I kind of like Michigan. I think they will stick to their bread and butter. I think they'll be able to run the football. And right now, Peyton Thorne's been good for Michigan State. I could see him make a mistake or two. I think Michigan wins this game. Therefore, I would lay the 4.
Boy, if Michigan wins this game, that'll set the table. People will instantly start talking about Michigan, Ohio State at the end of the year.
And I think there's a good chance that we see the game with Michigan undefeated in the top 5, Ohio State win-loss in the top 5. Winner goes on, plays in the Big Ten championship game.
All right, another big game in that early window with no college football playoff implications, but Big 12 implications, Texas and Baylor. That's a fascinating game to me in Waco at 11 o'clock on ABC.
Give Dave Aranda a lot of credit, the ability to turn this program around. And, you give a lot of people a pass, especially year one and it being a COVID year in 2020. But the offense is light and day from what it was 2020 to 2021. Jeff Grimes, great hire there. But if I would have told you before the season that would start taking over this Texas team with Bijan Robinson, that Baylor would actually have statistically the better offense, people would have said you're crazy. But right now, Baylor's second in the Big 12
wow.
in offensive efficiency. Texas is sitting third. Texas, though, their last 25 as a dog, 16-8-1. I like Texas catching 2.5 here. I think Bijan Robinson has a big day against this Baylor defense.
If you're looking for a place maybe to get one over on your man early on, and Lance will give you his plays on Saturday morning, so we record this on Friday afternoon, always subject to change, so check lanceslock.com before kick on Saturday. But Miami and Pittsburgh is a game where it has been a rat poison week for Kenny Pickett in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and I haven't looked at this game. I'll study it a lot more tonight. You look at Pittsburgh, though, they're at number 17 for the first time, or they're in the top 20 for the first time since 2010. So they're not used to being in this spot. And Pat Narduzzi, they've been very patient, we'll say, with Pat Narduzzi. But, the good news is not only is Pitt winning, but if you've backed Pitt, they're 6-1 against the number. So they're one of the best covering teams right now in college football. This is the 25th meeting between the two. Pittsburgh in those 25 meetings has only been favored twice. They're almost a double-digit favorite here. But I go back last weekend again when we were 7-4 on that Saturday card. We backed Miami plus 2.5 against NC State. Van Dyke, the freshman quarterback, was really good. I think he'll have some opportunities against Pitt. I believe Pitt will be flat coming off that double-digit win against Clemson. I think Miami keeps this one really close. I think Pitt will win this game, but Miami plus the 9, I think it's too many points.
The 2:30 window is not fantastic this week, but we do have the cocktail party there. We'll talk about the cocktail party and later Auburn and Ole Miss. But right now, tell us how we can be part of the Lance's Lock family.
Yeah, again, over 6 years rolling in business here, Dunaway, and it's really simple. You can tell your friends that we give you free play every single day. Go to lanceslock.com. We're going to give you a free play right there. You can monitor us. If you like us, jump on board. Try it out for a month. See what you think. It's only $90 for the entire month. Again, you're going to get the World Series, NBA, of course, college football, the NFL. You get absolutely everything for $3 a day, $90 per month.
Georgia and Florida down in Jacksonville. And it's not just Florida you're wondering about who will play the most snaps at quarterback. It's now Georgia. So you've got two quarterbacks situations with both teams here where you don't know who's going to get the most snaps.
Well, if I'm Dan Mullen and I'm Kirby Smart, I'm actually going experience here. And I guess you could say JT Daniels has got as much experience as Stetson Bennett. But Stetson seems to have this team rolling right now. And it's not like you need elite play at quarterback to beat Florida right now. I think I would go Emory Jones if I'm Florida. I don't think we brought this up enough on the next round. Georgia, though, can be the first team to clinch a spot in their championship game with a win this week.
Wow.
So Georgia's already in Atlanta if they just hold serve as a 14-point favorite right now against Florida. Florida is only 2-6 straight up in their last 8 games against Power 5 opponents. But for whatever reason, Florida's owned this contest. Since Steve Spurrier took over as the old ball coach in Florida in 1990, they're 22-9 against the Dogs. And you've just been waiting for Georgia to have that slip up this year. I don't know if it's this week. I think this game will be closer than most people think. Dan Mullen, 4-0-1 against the number. His last 5 versus top 5 at Florida. So I like Mullen in this spot catching the points. I think it's too many points.
Before we do the 2 SEC games under the lights, there's 2 interesting group of 5 games this week. SMU Houston, Fresno State, and San Diego State. Do you have leans in either one or both of those games?
Yeah, I have leans in both games. SMU, one of 9 unbeatens right now in the FBS. Tanner Mordecai leads the FBS with 29 passing touchdowns. He's only been sacked twice. I think Houston will be able to apply that pressure. I like Houston here in this spot. Houston's a good team. They've won 6 consecutive games. You go back, they lost week 1 to Texas Tech, who was fully healthy at that time. But I do think this is a really good spot for Houston. On the other side, Jake Haener, much better quarterback. San Diego State, the Aztecs have struggled to get offense. They're catching 1. Fresno State is in this spot. San Diego State, another one of those 9 unbeaten teams. I think Brady Hoke, San Diego State get a loss here. I like Fresno State.
Lanceslock.com, the place to go. You can get all the details about signing up and being part of the family and getting all the plays all the way through basketball season as well, then baseball and back to football in 2022. What a great gift for the holidays, Lanceslock.com. Kentucky and Mississippi State, they'll honor the Mississippi State national champion baseball team with the baseball logo, the M over S logo, on the side of the football helmets. They'll give the championship rings out during a ceremony on the field in front of a packed house in Starkville. Is this trouble for nationally ranked Kentucky on the road in Starkville?
Well, Kentucky not only has 1 loss, they've only got 1 loss against the number. They're another team that is 6-1 against the number this year. So not only is Mark Stoops winning a lot of games in Lexington, he's also covering these games. Chris Rodriguez has been great. But if you go back the last 5 seasons, Stoops is 0-4-1. Coming off a bye against the number. And the home team has won 6 straight in this series. I make it 7 straight. I like Mississippi State here. Kentucky, fortunate to win last year. They forced 6 turnovers. Kentucky, their offense was putrid against Mississippi State's defense. I think Zach Arnett's defense gives Kentucky a lot of trouble. Shut down Chris Rodriguez. Make Levis beat you. I don't think it's going to happen. I like Mississippi State in this spot.
One team will leave Auburn still very much in the SEC Western Division race. Auburn, in fact, LT, controls their own destiny to win a national championship, you believe?
They do. I think if Auburn wins out, you would have a top 10 win over Ole Miss. You've still got another top 10 coming up, a top 5 matchup against Alabama, and then maybe playing the number 1 team in the nation in Georgia. So I think Auburn at 11-2 winning the SEC championship would get in the first 2 loss team to ever get into the college football playoff. So everything is in front of them right now. Ole Miss, with 1 loss, still has an opportunity to get to the college football playoff. This is, you mentioned it earlier this week on the next round, an elimination game. Auburn's won 5 straight against Ole Miss. You go back 2 years ago in Jordan-Hare, Bo Nix, career-wise, had his best game, 340 passing yards against Ole Miss. But I think it comes down to Ole Miss, 5 games, 250-plus rushing yards on the ground against that Auburn defense that only gives up 123 on the ground. I think Auburn's defense is the difference in this game.
All right, that's the podcast this week, brought to you by our friends at Lance's Lock. Go check them out online and have a winning weekend. Some other games you can get there at lanceslock.com, maybe UCLA, Utah, North Carolina, Notre Dame, and others out there. The whole slate, they put up the wins for you. They put up the wins and hope no losses happen at lanceslock.com.